Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. So, about a couple of weeks ago, a woman went viral for saying that her son will not be dating a black girl, and she goes into detail of why. Today, we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss the woman, and we are going to discuss the detractors of what she was saying. All right. Now, before I go deep into it, to give you all a chance to hit that like button, I want to say this. And I'm not siding with the not all people. But when you point out a cultural problem, okay, I'm going to put it like this. Women have a much, like it pales in comparison, mating pool. They have a much larger mating pool. Theirs is an ocean, ours is a puddle. So we can't really, we as men have to be much more selective. We can't just go around saying, I am going to X an entire group of people, especially when that group of people is 13% of the population and, probably like 80% of the women in your immediate vicinity, in your area, in your church, et cetera, at your school, because Black people tend to live in large metropolitan cities next to each other. So it'd be a hard sell for you to say, leave this particular demographic alone, because we don't have, we can't just turn down Rihanna because she is a part of a demographic. We just can't. We don't have it like that. Women can say, oh, I don't want to mess with right-handed men. And, in a week, they'll find a left-handed dude. They have that ability. If they say, I only want to mess with dudes that can sing, they have that ability. Men, not so much. So when she says that, and I know she wasn't being general, I'm not one of these not all people. She's saying that she don't want her son to mess with a particular behavior of women. And this is how you know that she actually loves her son, because a lot of Black women, they put sisterhood over motherhood. Excuse me. Hit the like button. I should say they put sisterhood over motherhood. Meaning that if it's in your best interest to raise your son to be a simp to the sisterhood, to be either a overprotector, meaning like, these crash test dummy Pookie Ray Ray types, like Ayana Cousin. So they're either going to be one of those types, or they're going to be one of these, Uber provider types, who fund a household that he has no control over. Or he's going to be a provider type that funds a household that he not only has no control over, he's not even in. He's paying alimony, he's paying child support, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They raise their sons to fall into these traps that other women in the sisterhood say. When a Black kid is born, they say, something, he is going to provide to a daughter-in-law that is in the sisterhood. That is what so many Black women are doing to their sons. The ones who care about their sons, they're the ones who are going to say, avoid women like me. Avoid women like me. Just the same way a father who is, let's just say, he a player pimp Mac. If he loves his daughter, he's not going to raise her to be a 304. He's going to raise her to avoid men like him. And he'll literally say that, avoid men like me, and teach her how to do it. I mean, it's one thing to have, let's just call them flaws. It's another to raise your children to be victim of your flaws, which is something that happens so much in the Black community. They teach their daughters to marry them, to mirror themselves, and they teach their sons to marry these flawed women. And this is the only way they can keep this Keisha cycle going. So here we have a woman who is not going to do that because she actually loves her son. So let's review her, and let's review the pushback that she's going to get from this. I haven't seen this video in a couple of weeks, so it's not new, but it's about to be renewed to me. I actually found out something very interesting that I'm going to touch on after I play this. Hit the like button.
I'm sorry, but my son will not be dating a black girl. He will not. Because yesterday we went to Six Flags. The pure level of disgust that I saw in these black girls that you independent queens literally left early because my kids was looking like, what the hell is going on? And this is in the Bay Area, California. These girls, all of them.
Okay. I'm starting to conclude, and I had this theory for a while, since I started this space, and then you had people from the South. When I tell them I don't really mess with big women, and I'm critical of them, they say that I speak from a privileged position. Those of you who don't know, grew up and born and raised in Oakland, California, and I noticed that brothers on this site, or in this red pill space, I should say, are a lot more compromising. They're a lot more compromising in the women that they seek and deal with. They'll say stuff like, she not big, she thick, oh, I like, I like them thick, I like them big, or, they'll say to someone, other female YouTubers, like, you too skinny, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, they obviously compromise their standards because they didn't really grow up with fantasizing about being with a fat chick. So I did come to terms with, they had to make compromises and concessions because, what are they going to do if 90% of the female population in which they live is overweight? They're not going to do like a 90-10 rule where 90% of the guys are fighting for the remaining 10% of the women who are not overweight. So I do get where they're coming from, but I'm also starting to see between women like this and Shay Sade that there's a personality and intellect difference between women in the Bay and women everywhere else. And that's because I don't think that there's anything genetic or in the water. I think it's because our fat, dumb broads go to the South to look for thirsty dudes, to be perfectly honest. But no, check her, she said, when she said Six Flags, I kind of like, we have a Six Flags, but I know there's a Six Flags in Dallas too. So she could have been from there, but she said something in the beginning that kind of reeked of East Bay. And that was, I'm sorry, but women locally like to say that. I'm sorry, but you're not actually sorry. But that's just something that they say. So yeah, shout out to the Bay, shout out to the Bay Beauties, shout out to Shay Sade and others who represent in a classy way. All right, here we go.
Unsupervised in packs, unsupervised, no supervision, just running amok in the theme park. Multiple fucking fights break out, multiple. And I'm just like, okay, the police had to start patrolling the fucking park because these little bitches couldn't keep their hands to themselves. One little bitch about 12 years old talking about some, oh, fuck Jeremy, his small anyway, da-da-da, don't want to meet me. What do you mean it's small anyway? Girl, you are 12 to 13 years old. And then these other girls like, ooh, boo, boo, boo. And these dudes are like, y'all are hella chopped. Y'all are hella, it wasn't even the black boys. It was the girls. The girls was fighting multiple fucking fights. Fucking parking lot shut down from fucking them little motherfuckers fighting. And then this white lady asked her not to talk like that. Her and her friends trying to fight the white lady. I'm like, just no self-respect, no fucking home training. And I see why, and I seen a lot of, when I seen the.
And that's what it is. It's no home training, but it's a little bit deeper than that. Because no home training is a result of something. Because they are being trained. Believe it or not, they are being trained for something. And there's a reason why the boys aren't behaving this way. The girls are being trained to be in charge. That's it. That's it. That's the one goal that these girls are being trained to do. Be in charge. The reason why they're fighting amongst each other is because when you have a group of people, and boys have this problem, that's why we have this whole, who's the alpha, who's the king of the third grade and stuff like that. We all had, we've all been, every brother here, every grown man have been a young man, at the point, and we all knew we either had to fight for that top position, or, we had to concede to where, I'm not going to get that top position. We all know that, So who's the head of the class? We had to figure that out. And probably by like the 4th and 5th grade, you knew from the 3rd grade that it was going to be the same kid, unless there was a growth spurt or something like that. So they're doing the same thing. They're acting in a very masculine manner. They are trying to figure out who's going to be the top chick, and they're doing it the way boys do. That's why, they fight amongst each other. They're being groomed to lead. That's it. Now, unlike the male leadership structure, it's actually a structure. Every leader at one point followed. Donald Trump followed his father. If he didn't, he would not have gotten his inheritance. And he would not be the billionaire president that he is today. He followed. And then, of course, you follow your teachers and stuff like that. But even like top commanders in the military, they followed the chain of command when they started off as a lieutenant and moved forward and moved higher. You have to follow to lead. You have to. And that's a message that's lost on these young ladies. They don't feel like they have to follow anybody at any stage in their life ever. That's why they became violent with the white woman who tried to correct their behavior. They're fighting over dominance. They say, who is this woman who is, trying to command me? I'm going to attack. Which don't really work in a regular society. It does work somewhat in a subsidized society. Because a father could teach his son the same thing, but he goes to work for a boss, and his son knows that. So his son is going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. I do, first of all, I'm following you. If I want to be a world-class boxer, I got to follow my boxing instructor. If I want to be an athlete of any type, I got to follow my coach. These are things that are picked up by young boys, not young girls. They just like, I don't have to follow anybody. Whatever, I do what I want. Whatever, I do what I want. And that's because there's a safety net for them to where, they can be given leadership position of their house without actually having to work or submit to anyone. That's how welfare works. Is it going to be available in the same form for these young ladies? No. Are they going to have to find out the hard way? Yes. because their mother is preparing them for the reality that they grew up under, not the reality that these young women are going to grow up under. It is going to be cruel. It is going to be cutthroat, and it's going to, not benefit women who struggle for supremacy. Let's move forward.
Black boys with the white girls coupled up looking cute. I seen the Mexican kids, I seen the Asian. Only ones outside acting a fucking ass was the black girls. And I'm specifically saying black girls. There was no black boys acting an ass. It was the black fucking girl. Oh, fuck that bitch, she bumped into me. You are 16 years old. Calm down. When I tell you, you bitches are raising little miniature fucking single fucking baby mamas, that's what the fuck y'all raising. Because them little motherfuckers don't respect themselves. They don't respect. But my son will not be.
They know that they are raising single mothers. They're replicating themselves. This is how they keep the sisterhood going. She's not informing these women. These women are replicating themselves. They it's kind of like if your father's a knight or something and his son is a squire, so one day he will become a knight. They're replicating themselves over and over again. The problem is that society changes, especially when your society is subsidized. You're preparing them for a reality that is going to change. That is changing. That right now is changing. You're not going to switch up. And even if she's upset at the results, you can't take somebody who has been trained to dominate their entire lives to submit. You just can't. They won't be able to do that overnight.
Dating a black girl. He will not. Because yesterday
So I stitched this video because I want to put an example of why I don't want that as well. So you guys can go back to hers and see the rest of her video because her example is pretty good too. So this is just my quick example of why I don't want my son dating a black girl.
I know I said that I don't want my page to be filled with controversy and negativity. However, on this topic, I definitely do feel compelled to speak. Now, you have a self-hating black woman who's clearly male identified. She's so far gone, there's no saving her, right? And then on the other,
who's clearly male identified. This is her son. You see, if you are concerned about the futures of your son as a black woman, you are male identified. You see how twisted these broads are? So now we know who's not from the Bay Area. Oh gosh, my head hurts.
On the other hand, you have a non-black Trump supporting racist. And they are both talking about how they don't want their elementary school sons dating black girls. First of all, your sons haven't even hit puberty yet. Give it some time. They're small right now. So it's easier to make them happy and to, create memories with them. But when they do become young men, that's where it gets a little rough. Neither of you will have that control over who they date. And who's to say if they would even like girls? No disrespect.
Okay. So this is her way of coping by saying, and it's not that they want the sons to date black girls, because they want the sons to date their particular brand of black girls. I had a discussion with Danica Marie's sister on her page, and she brought up the concept of Bridget. So apparently there's two types. There's the Keishas and then there's the Bridget. Bridget is more on the educated side, more on the follow rules and structures, whether she's married or not. She do follow the structure of society. That would be like the Bridget types. The Bridget type is wildly disliked by the Keisha types. They don't want their son to date that type of woman anymore. They want their sons to date a white woman. They need their validation, but men aren't naturally attracted to just ratchet, obnoxious behavior. They have to be trained to do so. And that's what they're training their son to do. And what she's saying is, he's eventually going to get with Akeisha once puberty hits. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. What she's actually saying is, once he gets horny, because that's what happens during puberty. Like, his lust is going to lead him into a woman who's twerking, or a girl, excuse me, who's twerking with her tits out. He's not going to pass up that opportunity. And I don't deny what she's saying. But would he be repulsed by her behavior at the same time he's attracted to her body? Yes. You don't really have to wait until puberty to appreciate girls. I had my first crush in kindergarten, maybe even before that. And that is because even before you have a sex drive, there are certain girls that you enjoy their company, or you enjoy something about them in a non-sexual way. My first crush, I remember vividly, I enjoyed the fact that her hair was beaded. And I'll never forget, it was in kindergarten, and I was playing in her hair because so in the 80s, there was this show, and maybe it came out in the 70s and I was watching syndication, but there was this show called Batman. And Batman would swing on ropes and stuff like that, and her hair was like that. And I was like, Batman, Batman, and she was just so cool to play with. That's why I liked her. It's not about that, but Keisha, that's all she has. So yeah, that's funny. All right, shout out to Josh. He says, oh, by the way, movie night is tonight, people. So come through if you want the link. Hit me up on the email. It says, I got a Bridget. Her name is literally Bridget. She probably coined it. She probably named it, but she's not liked by Keisha. All right, let's continue.
Respect. A good mother would want their child to date someone that respects our child and respects themselves. It's not about the color of their skin.
It's not. She's saying that within a culture, there is a not insignificant amount of young girls who don't respect anything. They don't respect themselves. That's why they're talking about the size of a 12-year-old boy's penis. Like, they don't respect themselves. They don't respect society. They don't respect Six Flags, and they can't respect your son. So I'm gonna say groom to lead what? Groom to lead the household. That's really what a boss chick is. Someone who's bossing around those around her.
Sons will see and experience different girls of different races being inappropriate and not having any self-respect.
White women do it.
The Trump supporting racist loves the fact that the self-hating black woman doesn't even know who she is. You both are disgusting.
She knows who she is. That's the problem. I don't, when people say you don't know who you are, do they mean that because you're not like me, you don't know who you are? See, I always knew East Oakland raised a nerd. I knew exactly who I was. I didn't think I was something different. I didn't think I was like everybody else. And there were a few nerds, around, but I knew what I was. I wasn't delusional. What did I think I was, like a basketball phenomenon? Like, oh Christ. Why do they think that who you are is the negative black stereotype? And then when someone says the negative black stereotype, you say not all. Well, of course it's not all because she exists.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, I have an
Now, I want y'all to note the African or Haitian accent. See, there is a problem, and I know this because I haven't actually been to Africa, but I do know this just based on the ones that make it here. There's a problem in many of the African countries going on, and that is they have picked up this philosophy, this Black American philosophy. They're followers, but instead of following their men, they follow Black American women into this depravity. I'm going to get into why they do that, but it doesn't make it a pleasant place for passport bros.
interesting video coming up for you guys, but I cannot wait. Like, I can't wait because this video annoys me so much. I made it on one of my TikTok page, and the way I spoke was so very angry because of this woman. Look at the way this woman is describing children. Look at the way this woman is talking about Black children, Black female children. First of all, let's cross-check her as a mother.
Okay, as an adult, you are supposed to be critical on children. That's how they are raised to become adults. You're supposed to set the boundaries. How dare her talk about children like that? I talk bad about kids all the damn time. There was like a little nappy head snot nosed bastard that was bullying another kid at camp this July. What are you talking about? Adults are supposed to. I mean, I'm not even going to say allowed. They're supposed to have opinion on children.
Let's look at somebody who have the audacity, who have the effrontery to talk down on Black women. Look at her from head to toe. Does she look decent? Does this woman look like somebody who represents good Black women? No. Look at her utterance.
Listen, it's not a matter of how she is presented. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is a factor. But, and Anton Daniels did the same thing. Like, is it really that big of a deal? I don't care what you look like. I care how you behave. Period. So, and I was talking to her about this recently. I used to get a lot of flack for messing with Danica, for being cool with Danica, for supporting her, through a lot. She got a lot of pushback. I used to get a lot of flack for that. And one was because of her physical appearance. She has a very Keisha-esque physical appearance, and she also enjoys the attention that her body naturally yields. I understand that. And it also, but hey, if her behavior is right and she's making her husband happy, then I just leave it at that. I just leave it at that. And I'm just saying with this chick, yeah, she has the tattoos and stuff like that, and the hair is probably not real, but all in all, it's like, listen, if her behavior doesn't have to match her appearance. So that's what I'm getting at.
The way she was describing children. A woman who cannot say a word without using curse word, without saying fucking, saying bitch. A woman who cannot express herself decently, respectfully. A woman who cannot compose herself, have the audacity to talk down on Black women. I want to make video like this. I want to talk about this, but I want to come and talk about this in person so that if you're holding me accountable, you're holding me accountable. You're seeing the person who is talking to you. Guys, I have seen a lot of Black American women who are married to Black American men coming on social media talking down on Black American women, and it's giving me headache. There's one on YouTube that always use very downgrading words and title to describe Black women. It's giving me concern. You guys are able to marry. Thank God for you guys.
Okay, so she's married. And so when you get married in the Black community, you have a bunch of jealous African broads saying you are married, but you are not a classy woman. You are not Akata. Shut the up. By the way, if you think I have something against Africans, I don't. I really don't. It's the ones that come on here. It's the one that was on my show yesterday, talking. Oh gosh, I'll be talking some straight ignorant jungle trash like all the time. Y'all stupid. And no, not the whole continent, just the ones who come here and go on YouTube and watch y'all crappy Nollywood movies that are too long, too Christian, and too feminist. Y'all stupid. God. All right, let me play some more of this. Get on my nerves.
But a lot of you guys don't have the character. You don't have that character to talk down on Black women. You don't have that home training that you're complaining about to talk down on Black women. I want to know.
She just described Black girls who don't have home training, saying that this woman don't have home training because she's critiquing girls who do have home training. And notice how she's trying to protect the image of these girls. She cares not about the boys. She knows that girls like that will ruin her son's life. She don't care about that. Why? Because they don't want to be exposed. They want to be able to lure in a sucker. They want to be able to approach a young man and he has no guard up. He has, he's not looking for telltale signs.
No, what differentiates you from the people you're talking about? If you can describe a child using word bish, if you don't feel somehow to call a child a bish, what made you think that you have the audacity to talk down on Black women? If you go on social media, there are a lot of negative videos targeted at Black women. Like, you cannot breathe. Everywhere you go, people are talking about Black women in a very downgrading.
And they never do better. They never do better. It's clear, because you had a BGS types talking about, negotiation table. It's clear that the ones who are like this, they were raised and groomed to be like this. It's like taking a Klingon warrior and trying to get him to be like, a babysitter for infants or something like that. It's like, listen, you're not going to undo decades of teaching and training. You're just not. The best thing you can do is to teach your son to avoid it.
Way is because of this kind of women. After she made video, a non-Black woman also stitched her video, and she was talking about, oh yes, this is the reason why I also do not want my son. Nobody cares about the son this type of women bring up. What we are concerned is, what home training will you give that son to represent Black people when he grow up? That is the biggest concern. Because if you cannot describe a child, if you cannot talk what children did without using curse word, tell me what kind of home training are you giving that your son, a mother?
So she wants you to focus on the curse words and not what she was saying. Ever notice how these channels of women who want to protect the image of Black women, the solution is never be a better woman, be a better bitch. The solution is never that. The solution is, okay, we have to change our image and reputation, which means we can't have our kids at Six Flags. Great. So for those of you who don't know, if you're old enough, Six Flags in the Bay Area used to be called Great America. And then I think it was Paramount Great America. And then it turned into Six Flags Great America. But anyway, if you want your ethnic reputation to be better, then you have to do better. There's no way around that. You know, maybe you got away with that before the information age, but right now is right now. And everything you do is going into the psyche zygote of everyone around you seeing that you're doing it. What you want to do is try to tell society to ignore that and treat us as if you never seen that. No, it doesn't work. If you want a good ethnic reputation, then you have to actually earn it.
You are a mother and you're describing another woman's child with those kind of dirty, wicked, resentful words, and you're
another woman's child. That's a woman's child. Y'all see the way, you see the thinking that's going on? And this, she's not American. Or at least she's not born American. See how they see this matriarchal structure? This is a child of a woman. This is another woman's child.
telling me that your child that you bring up will represent black men. No, the child you bring up is those kind of black men that go on podcasts, that go on social media, that go everywhere talking down on black women.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I wish my mama was like that. If my mama was like that, then I possibly wouldn't have known to the intimate extent of the sisterhood and of Keisha behavior. I don't think young men who grew up with mothers like this can. You know, their perspective is completely different. They haven't seen the worst yet. I mean, they see the worst in Great America, but then they go home, or they see the worst at Six Flags, and then they go home. But when home is where the Keisha lies, no, you're finished. You know,
it's the kind of women that bring up those kind of men, because there's no way a woman will be describing a child with this kind of hateful word. I don't know why some of these black women that are married to black men feel like they are better than other black women.
They are.
What made you feel like you're better?
They are better. They are better. My penis makes them better. They're better women. I don't understand why these angry broads don't get that. They are better than you. In every way you measure the value of a woman, they are better than you. What makes you think you're better than me? Everything. She's better than you. And I'm pretty sure she looks better than you. I haven't seen you, but I'm willing to guarantee, because you've taken an ugly woman stance in life, which is what the sisterhood is, that she even looks better than you. But even outside of that, you know, because we can't measure that, in every metrics of value to the world, value to society, value to individual family, value to others, she is better than you. You women who are married to black men think that you're, but yes, she has. Let's start with the basics. She has succeeded in an area that you have tried and failed at. I didn't know she was married until she just said it, because she would have been, you know, like perhaps a TikTok crush or something, for reasons I'm going to show you on future videos. But But nevertheless, she's better than you. In a well-functioning society, you would have a harness on your back and you would pull her around like you're a donkey. That's how much better than you she is. She is a better being. Deal with it.
Better than a single mother. If you cannot compose yourself, if you cannot dress well, start from dressing well. Start from covering yourself up as a married woman.
Her husband ain't complaining. Shut the fuck up. Her husband ain't complaining. I'm a better woman because I dress like a 15th century nun. Shut up. That's just something that you do to make yourself feel better. She is the better person. Shay Sade, Danica Marie, Bella Rings are better people. They're better than you. In the eyes of the only people who matter, mine. And by mine, I mean black men that marry them. They woke up in the morning and say, I want the same thing that every woman on the planet wants, and that is a black man. And they got it and you didn't. Walking around dressed in a schmuck talking about, yes, but I'm covered. Shut up. Exactly. What's my favorite word? Bitch!
You cannot cover yourself up. You cannot dress decently as a married woman. You have tattoo all over your body like that. You speak like that. And you have the effrontery to talk down on black women. It's crazy to see people who do not have home training, basic training, coming up to talk down on black women. And you know what? One thing that is making me mad is because,
oh my gosh, it's like whatever country she comes from hadn't invented irony yet. Or toilets. Listen, you are a black woman who, with no home training, who is on here talking about other black women. You're talking about black women. You're stupid.
because a lot of other women will pick those words and throw to black women. Are you guys not tired? Are you guys not tired seeing people dragging black women everywhere on social media? Are you guys not tired? Why
you want to know what else? And this goes into, you know, the virus of continental stupidity that's going on there. You have the opportunity to disassociate yourself with these particular group of women by simply saying, you know, that's them. I'm African. But you don't do that. You're so desperate to be in the shitty sisterhood that you decide to unite with a losing group. You're stupid. I don't unite with you when you do something stupid. What the hell?
are getting all over the world? If you want to address something, there's a way to address it. If you feel like something you see is not okay, you come talk about it as a decent person, as somebody with home training, as you claimed. Because if you're telling me that your son will not marry black woman, that means you must have given him good home training. But from your own character, it shows that you cannot even bring up that child to be a better man. Honestly, this has to stop. All you black women that are...
Yes, she can. And she is. She is bringing up her son to be a better man. Why? Because when she was telling her story, you know, her son was shocked at that behavior, meaning that he understands this behavior to be wrong, meaning that he is a better man than they are women or girls. He's going to be a better man than those young girls are going to be women. Yeah. Okay, so somebody said something interesting. Even if she looked like Prime Holly, the accent would be unbearable. Yeah. I used to think that China men and women had like the worst accent on the planet. Cause it sounds like chopped vegetables, like like oh man, I had a teacher like that in college because there's a lot of people in that demographic because they gravitate towards it. But dang, I thought that was the worst accent. But the more I hear this, dang.
Married to black men that are feeling superior over black or other black women need to stop putting black women down. Face your marriage. Your son is still a toddler. Your son is still a child. Let him grow first before we talk about who he will date or who he will not date. Whatever transpired in any way does not give you the audacity, the effrontery to come on social media and put down black women. Are you guys not tired hearing black women everywhere? Negativity everywhere. This is the reason why I don't like black men, because I feel like
Exactly. And that's what all the divestiture swirlers, they don't like the bad publicity that they are getting. They don't like the invention of Yelp. And that's what the internet is. The internet is Yelp for pussy. And they can't stand it. They can't stand the fact that people can go somewhere and voice their concerns to diminish their ethnic reputation. You see, and that's another thing that previous generations have that that current generation of black women and girls don't have. You see, the boomers were caught off guard because the previous generation they had were like these perfect March with Martin Luther King type church women, with who was thin, and when you bought your mistress home, she fixed her a plate. They come from a generation of those type of perfect black women. So when they switched up, a lot of black men, like my father, a lot of boomer black men were caught off guard. Hit the like button. They were caught off guard. But now men are on guard and they don't like that. They want to catch you off guard again like they did with the boomer generation. There's nothing wrong with being a stepdad, but you got stepdads on the internet telling you it is. The boomer generation didn't know. The boomer generation of men didn't know about that. But subsequent generations like, whoa, I seen what my pappy and my grandpappy went through. I seen that. It's a trap. Shout out to Amo Akbar. It's a trap. Like, yeah. And they are upset. They are upset that we are now exchanging notes.
Anybody who is indebted to black men, anybody who is submitted to black men is most likely to hate black women. That is what I have discovered. And I know that it's not all black men, but most of the women who have their loyalty to black men most likely hate other black women, because there's no way you can come on social media.
So it's a zero-sum game. It's like you either with us or you against us. Your loyalty is with black men, not black women. Actually, if your loyalty is with black people, then it should be all in one. But y'all don't see it that way. Because you have a hatred and disdain for black men. And the reason for this is because so many of you were trained to rule over black men. And because black men are not as willing to submit, at least not the black men that are worth a damn, they're not as willing to submit as you would like for them to be. Now you're upset. And that's really what the black gender war is. Black women trying to get black men to submit and black men refusing to do so.
Yeah. And be saying all this kind of thing about children, black girl child. In my country, in my culture, they say the community train a child. If you see a child doing something bad, you can correct her. You can talk to her in a way she will understand. Even if her mother is not giving her that home training, you can still talk to her nicely and she will listen to you. But
Bitch! Shut the fuck up. A white woman did approach these hyenas and try to talk to them nicely. And they tried to fight her. When you see a black girl acting ratchet, you need to use kind, soft words. Ever notice how black people, when they criticize white people for being too kind, they give that, trope example of the white kid misbehaving in the grocery store who needs a whooping? But if a black kid does it, they need kind words. Ever notice that? That's her way of trying to instill into the psyche of society that you're not supposed to talk bad or give any discouraging words to a black woman who's behaving foolishly.
you cannot even make a statement without using curse word. So how are you going to talk to a child? How are you going to correct a child? How are you correcting your own son? How are you training your own son if you can?
Okay. You remember, but here we go. Challenge accepted. Okay. Perfect women accept being cheated on in a very real way, yes. Like Loretta Scott King, for example. A perfect person understands the imperfections of others. One major imperfection is that men have the desire to sleep with for sexual variety. They understand that. They may not like it, but they understand it. They understand it to the extent that they are not willing to dismantle the entire family because this man has this particular imperfection. So I'm not saying a woman is perfect because she allows something like that. But I am saying she's better than the woman who just goes off of raw emotions and destroy everything because of that. Yes, men are awesome, but we are not perfect. We have a desire to spread our seed. Some of us can control that desire, and some of us can't. But the family shouldn't have to suffer because you can't. See, this is the difference between a woman who thinks rationally versus a woman who just follows some preset rules of society. Oh, he cheated, therefore you got to leave. Or maybe we can work something out. Maybe we can work something out to where, you, me, and the family are together and happy. Shout out to Kobe Brown's wife. Shout out to Bill Cosby's wife. Shout out to Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King's wife. Shout out to Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton's wife. Shout out to every motherfucking white woman who from slavery time, whose husband had like a bunch of kids working in the house that looked like him but darker. And she just pretended like she didn't know what the hell was going on. Shout out to that. So yes, they are better. George Washington's wife was better. Thomas Jefferson's wife was better. There was articles about Sally Hemings. You think that she just like dismantled the entire family? He cheated on me. Grow up.
I'm not making a statement without using curse word.
It's the other woman's fault for making me want her so bad.
So tell me, how are you better? Is it because you have a husband and those people don't have husband that makes you better?
Yes, it does.
Because from your character, from your
just
dress,
saying her insecurity. It's because you have a husband and the other people don't have husbands that make you better. That, amongst other things, like that is a result of her being better.
from your attitude, from the way you express yourself, you're not better. To me, you're not better. I don't see the difference. Honestly,
that's because you're not a black man. But we see the difference between her and you. And really, every man sees the difference between her and you. That's why you don't have a husband of any race.
I was so very angry. Like, I have been sick since yesterday. I was so very angry looking at this woman, the way she talk about children. Children! Hi! You're talking about children. Like, if anything in this life, if I see any woman that does not respect children, that does not feel some kind of way talking about children, I don't think that person is a woman. Because if there's anybody that understands children better, it should be women. But you're describing children with this kind of deadly, wicked, resentful word. And you want to tell me that your son that you bring to this world will be better and will not come close to black women. Please take them far from black women.
All right. So now we're gonna, because y'all talking crap in the chat room, I'm gonna address that in a moment. But first, before I do, what the hell? Before I do, I'm gonna read some comments in her section. Come on, baby. You should be honored to share me. Okay. The other woman actually do feel that it's an honor to share him. So let's start there. She understands that he's married and she is embracing the honor of sharing him. And what I'm saying is that these women are intelligently weighing the pros and cons. And they just said, you know something? Which is worse, being a divorced mother of several children, living without him, or living with the understanding that he is a man and, is subject to male imperfections? Now, let's read a few of these, and then we're going to look at her page, and then we're going to go to the other woman's page. At first, they were 12. Now they were 16. Sounds hateful, possessed demon calling children words, children B words is insane. What the hell? You have the mind of a child, bitch! She is very disrespectful. She hate herself. Well, she's not a 12-year-old acting a damn fool, acting like a monkey girl at Six Flags. That's not herself. All right. The only difference between this mother and the black girl she's degrading is the age, and the marriage, and the fact that she's against the behavior versus encouraging the behavior or defending the behavior. The venom and hatred she expressed in degenerating, yeah, okay. Those black girls shows exactly who she is. This adult's behavior is far more disturbing than the girl's behavior because they are children. Oh my gosh. Those are the ones who need correction the most. Adults are supposed to correct children's behavior. That's why her sons realizes that these behaviors is wrong. This is why the us against them mentality continues to exist in our community. Having worked with children most of my adult life, holy crap. This type of behavior exists amongst every demographic group in America. Everything exists amongst every demographic group in America. But there are problems that are prevalent in ours. And I mean, even if it exists in every demographic group in America, then, you know, we address ours and they address theirs. She lost all credibility after calling said 12-year-old a bitch. You a fucking 32-year-old bitch. Shut the hell up. The audacity. I can't stand these pick-me clowns. Well, I can't stand bitches who can't get picked. Talking shit. She sounds like the people she's talking about. Okay. Tell her, sis, I love that you are just as mad. As me, she is diabolical. Holy crap. Notice how none of the critiques is going to the parents of the girls. There's this feeling that Black women should be able to do whatever it is the fuck they want to do, and the rest of society should embrace it or ignore it. Fuck you! I love your anger and frustration towards this. Holy crap. Embrace the dark side. I love your anger and frustration towards this heart. Okay. Very well said. I wish the video would go viral and that sad Black woman would see it and hear how stupid and self-hating she sounds. It's not herself. It's not herself. I don't know why I don't know why Black people have this whole self-hating thing as it applies to others. Like, by definition, that's not self-hate. I'm trying to think of somebody I hate that I have something in common with, but I wouldn't call it self-hate. Oh, I don't even know why I hate this dude. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm just an irrational human being, but there's a dude that played Ben Seaver on an old show called Growing Pains. His name is Jeremy Miller. He just has one of those faces that make me want to smack the shit out of him. That's not self-hate. He's a white dude, but he's a dude. So apparently I hate him because I want to smack his face. And that means I hate myself. I want to smack my own face. No, fuck. What the hell? Their logic makes no sense, just like my disdain for Jeremy Miller. All right. What I despise about this narrative is that Black women look at group of Black female adolescents as, instead of addressing the individual behavior, and decided to denigrate and associate all Black. Okay, this is a not all argument that I'm not going to entertain. She is a nurse, and her racism is part of the reason why Black women are passing away at higher numbers. Yeah, that's right. Because like she just ignored cancer in a Black woman, you know, in a Black woman. That, see what the crap they're putting on her? Oh, she's a nurse. First of all, she's not a doctor, but she's a nurse. So Black women are dying. Like, she's fucking Nurse Hatchet. Or she's fucking Nurse Ratchet. Like, she just see a Keisha and just fucking, you know, turn off her glucose meter or something, or just, you know, don't change her bedpan and let her ass die from ass shit rash or something like that. No, the reason why Black women are dying in the hospitals quicker than anybody is because they're fucking fat. They're fat ass bitches suffering from the chemicals that seep through fake hair. Shut the fuck up. All right. let's continue. If your son has a problem with black women, he inherited his basis from his mom. No, he inherited from ratchet. He inherited it from young ratchet bitches. Okay, most black men project their hatred of their moms onto other black women, and most black men just see a ratchet black bitch and hate her. Okay, somebody want to talk shit. Maybe if they had seen the kids behave. Oh, I see. No, you wasn't talking shit. No. So yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. Dominic, they have seen the behavior. Everybody has seen it. Every American person has seen these young people's behavior. You can't go anywhere without it unless you live in like the Amish community or something like that. You have seen it. You can't turn on your TV without seeing it. You can't go to a grocery store without seeing it. Because truth be told, they want to be seen because they're not getting enough attention because the boys don't like them because they look like trash and their hairstyle looks like they just snatched a wet T-shirt off the top of their head and walked to school. So they're not getting attention from the boys. They're not getting attention from their parents because the daddy's gone and the mama's trying to get attention for her damn self. So they are out trying to get attention from society. And the way they do that is to sexualize their 12-year-old ass and to act a damn fool. So everybody's seen it. All right, I'm gonna with this bitterness, I bet she's a baby mama. Okay. Well, the woman said that she's a wife, so millennials parents 90 to 96. What in the hell? Okay. Good point. I don't know what she mean by it. Like the parents were born in 1996, then they would be millennials. So is that what you're saying? But it's a much larger range than that. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Amen. She needs to walk the plank of out of her own eye. Oh, wipe the plank. I'm not gonna read this foolishness. All right. She lost me as soon as she said the non-black lady was automatically a racist Trump supporter and just came to all these conclusions. Lost me immediately. Did she say she was a Trump supporter? I don't even remember that part because that's not really relevant. That probably was just an attempt at levity that just went over my head. Okay, she's acting like the very young girl she's talking about. Oh my gosh. I used to think Bay Area women were problematic, but it's a shame that they're actually the good ones in comparison to the rest of the fucking country. Finally, somebody with some sense. I wish black mothers were this protectors of their daughter. Oh no, it's not. It's not. If she had daughters, they wouldn't be acting like this. They are protective. Once again, protection to them means protection from criticism from their own ill behavior. But the best protection you can give your daughter is to train them not to behave like this, because guess what? When they become adults, nobody's going to protect them. They got to protect their own selves in prison. All right, so let's stop there and let's go to the origin. Oh no, actually, I know what I want to do. I want to go over this woman's page. She has 91,000 supporters or subscribers. 91,000 supporters. 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 91,000 and we're going to look at her videos, like at the titles. Okay. This is entitled, this is our most recent video, has like 902 views. Black men getting jealous because black women don't want them anymore. Watch video. Okay. I'll skip through it.
White man get on the internet talking about, well, the Hooters that I go to ain't no black women there. I'm gonna stop going to that Hooters until they hire black women. Matter of fact, where are the black women that work at Hooters and blah blah, all this, that shit. And this thing, you know, I see a whole bunch of fine ass sisters. I mean, beautiful sisters, just posting a picture under this man video, just chocolate ass skin, nice hair, nice little body, natural hair, everything about these black women. They just look good as hell. And then I look at him. He nowhere close to all that. And that's how I know these black women that posted their picture under here, like they just want any type of white man. That's how bad that they want a white man, that they'll talk to this white man. This he don't even look. Blake Shelton look better than him. Steve Carell look better than him. Like it's just crazy to me. Like these black women are really posting a picture under this man video like a slave option. Pick me, Mouser, pick me. What about? He's not cute. I would have seen if he looked like the dude from Imaginary Dragons.
I don't know any of the people except Steve Carell, whose name he mentioned. He knows the name of a lot of white entertainers that is just beyond me. Here's the actual reason that he's upset. Black men in dealing with black women are made to pay a tariff in dealing with them. Now, y'all gonna say, GameChanger, what do you mean by tariff? This is a word that's come straight from this administration, and you know, basically it's an added cost to deal with them. So if you are a black man who's, say, a 7 and you're dealing with a 5, those 2 points are the tariff that you have to pay. Now, black women dealing with white men, they actually pay the tariff to deal with them. And that's upsetting to this man. But guess what? Your rage comes from offering exclusivity. Black women have taught you, your mama have taught you to, if you are loyal to this group of women, they will be a reward. And there isn't. And now you're upset. Rightly so, but I mean, there should be better resolve. There should be more like, okay, so this white guy, and I'm not even mad at this white guy. Dude is smart. So this is the white dude, right? I've seen him on Only Logic channel. This is the white dude, gingerbread man. Basically, what he is doing is he is tapping into black women's hate for black men, their insecurity, their desire for revenge, etc., etc., etc. He's like, listen, all I got to do is say I'm into black girls and be white, and they're going to come my way. He knows this. And he knows that the women who do, because they're paying a tariff, they're going to be more attractive than any white woman that he had available to him. He knows that. He is getting a deal. Hey, get your deal, dude. That's what the passport bros are doing. They have weighed and measured the situation and say, you know something, I could get a woman who is prettier and more cooperative with this particular group than I can in my own group. Therefore, I'm going to do that. That's all he's doing. I'm not mad at dude. I'm not even mad at the chicks. I think that they're getting hustled, but they are self-hustling. So it's okay. Because they're paying that tariff just to make this man upset. And because they're only upsetting the dudes that were loyalists, then hey, do you or do him, and good luck with that. All right, so let's just go to look at like some of her other videos. Black men fear that they are losing black women to, okay, and she's showing the same dude. So basically, she's just getting, like, the whole mission is to instill this sense of scarcity in black men. I mean, it's not really, to an intelligent black man who's not really working off raw emotions and dealing in that rage phase, when he realized that his sister is not a sister type deal, and his mother is not his mother, and his father is not his father because he took a paternity test. Anyway, you know, once he's going to settle down and he's going to realize, like, okay, these women are just running game on you. These are the type of women that'll fuck your best friend, you know, to make you jealous as a revenge tactic employed. Best not feed into it. And then you look at it from an only logical perspective, and it's like, okay, this is what they're doing. This is, you know, they're looking just to say nan, 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 and it's like, oh, okay. You know, it's kind of like somebody try to sell you a car for, say, $20,000, and then you say, I'm not going to buy it. And then they sell it to somebody else for $10,000. They say, ha, joke's on you. It's like, yeah, well, you spent $12,000 on that car. You actually lost money. But hey, I guess joke is on me. You know, just mock their foolish behavior, stupidity. Okay, so basically there's just a bunch of swirl stuff here, and keep in mind, this is where Austin wants you to go. Oh crap, Asian mixed kids. Asian women don't like black men. This upset black man. Watch the video. Don't really care. Types of Asian women that, okay. Once again, she's trying to create this false sense of urgency amongst black people. This is ridiculous. So apparently, if her title is right, she's a black girl in China, but where is her Asian man? Where is her Chinese man? You know, is the first question I ask, but really don't care to know the answer, because the answer is going to be so shameful and pathetic that I would rather not ruin my day with such information. But let's go back to this woman, the woman who made the original video. Okay. So she made a bunch of car videos, and there was a time that she was my crush, and it was because of this video. Now I'm going to share it. Okay. Now, right off the bat, and I even said this years ago, I even made it clear back in the day when I actually was online dating. I am not going to date a woman whose profile has the word goddess, queen, or Barbie in it. That's always been a sign of delusion and mental illness. especially when a black woman calls herself Barbie. It is what it is. So the red flags are there. But I didn't notice. So actually, when I first seen the video I'm about to play for you, it was on Chantel Simone's video. She was covering her. And I didn't even notice she was the same woman who, when I seen the video weeks prior about not dating her son's not dating black. I thought this was a completely different chick. And I was like, ooh, this is a potential crush. Plus, I didn't see the name. But let's just play.
Created the feminism movement. I'm not gonna lie. So realistically, if you think about it, every time you are out and you see a pretty girl and she has an ugly friend with her, what does that ugly friend do? She instantly jumps into lesbian defense mode because she is an ugly Betty. The bitch is jealous. So when you try to talk to the cute girl, the ugly friend usually is like, leave her alone. She hates men. It's like, nah, bitch, you hate men. Back the fuck up. You know what I mean? And she will keep going. And you've seen videos where the cute friend will even tell the ugly friend, like, no, it's cool. And she still will be like, absolutely the fuck not, because she's not getting that same attention. So in the ugly girl's mind, men are evil, men are aggressive, men are everything bad because she can't fucking get the one she wants. You know what I mean? And so she deflects that onto her cute friend. And so then you also have another subcategory. So you have ugly girls, you have hoes. Hoes build a reputation for themselves. They're sleeping around, they're collecting babies, they're collecting bodies. The bitches just don't stop. And so after they're done living their whole life, now they're coming and looking for a man to save them, and no man is willing to save them. So again, they create the same agenda. Men are evil, men are monsters, men are selfish. No, you bitches are just two unlikable categories, and you bitches are going to attract what you put out, which is bullshit 24/7. So with that being that, it just grew so big with them just constantly projecting that message over and over and over.
Okay. So right off the bat, she's talking like me. And since I love myself, I'm going to find myself interested in those who share my wisdom without first hearing. I doubt that she got that from my channel years ago when I said it, that the feminist movement was to benefit ugly women and rainbow women. But no, she's like, the feminist movement is to benefit ugly women and hoes. Now, on the hoes thing, she's right, but for the wrong reasons. She's right that hoes benefit, but hoes aren't necessarily struggling with men. Hoes just has, okay. Hoes look at relationships as competition for what they're selling. I'm going to repeat that. Hoes look at relationships as competition for what they're selling. Meaning that when they see, and I'm just going to throw one out there, Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry in a relationship, and let's just assume that Steph Curry is faithful, and I think he is. Hoes are looking at that situation like, damn, I could be getting that bag from him. You know, they want men single and thirsty, so they're going to be anti-relationships. Every advice you get from a hoe is going to be break up the relationship because they can't stand relationships. Relationship is cutting into their bags. Now, when you think of prostitutes, when you think of hoes, you're thinking of someone who makes a lot of money because she's selling a product that they like. But what in my world observation, and this is here in the US, what's actually happening is too many chicks, not enough dicks. So they're desperate. You know, they're standing out in the cold. In some places in the world, it snows. You know, they're standing out waiting for a dick. And at that point, everybody becomes competition. Everything becomes competition. And, you know, it has gotten into their mind that, you know, because they look at marriage and relationships as women giving away sex for free. And they're upset about that because they feel like, okay, I got to compete with that. So they join the feminist movement, or they encourage the feminist movement for that reason, not because they have the same plight as an ugly woman who is going to be naturally against the patriarchy, because the patriarchy is not kind towards ugly women, just like it's not kind towards lazy men. The world isn't kind to men that can't earn an income. And the world, a patriarchal world, isn't kind to a woman who can't seduce a man. So that's the second category, ugly broads. The third category is lesbians. And yes, having your livelihood tied to a man when you are not attracted to men is something you're just going to be, venomously against. In a very real way, you're like a weakling in prison. Your whole livelihood is attached to your ability to seduce a man. That is pure torture. So I get why they are against it too.
Because hoes can be pretty. So you have girls that are pretty, but they're hoes. And so you see them being pretty and hating men, and then another girl jumps on because she's pretty and she hates men. You see an ugly girl, she's ugly and she hates men, then another ugly girl jumps on and she's ugly and she hates men, and it just keeps fucking going. And it doesn't fucking make sense, because at the end of the day, everybody...
I don't know if this girl is married, because I'm looking at both her hands and I don't see a ring. I think the African girl is just so hyper concerned about women like this, and she sees married women like this. You're married to a black man, and she wants to be married to a black man, and she's doing the same thing that I was describing that ugly broads do, that hoes do, and that is, discourage black on black relationships. Therefore, there'll be a bunch of desperate black men for her ugly ass. That's really what she's hoping for. I don't think this chick is married.
Wants to compete.
And I'm not saying that because I want to put her on my list of possible crushes. I'm saying that because she don't have a ring. But also, this is interesting because actually, first, let me tell y'all what my crush list is. So I had what I call a YouTube crush, and that is a woman who embraces the type of femininity that I like to represent. So when people say, what's your type, GC, I can say it's this one. And my previous crush was Kelly Stamps. Y'all could look her up. She didn't really have talking points on these type of topics. However, her femininity and grace and her face and her humor, her quirks, made her my crush. But she's engaged now, and I'm not going to crush on a married chick. So that's that. So I'm looking for another. This was a candidate.
With men until it's actually time to fucking come down and compete. They don't want to pay their own fucking bills. They don't want to change those fucking tires. That's the thing. Women feel like there is a competition where men don't see us as competition. They don't give a fuck. Like, you can't compete with something where you don't fucking compare. Women realistically don't do shit. Like, we cook, we clean, but men can also do that. A man, if he really needed to, he could.
Her words are very true. It's coming from a first world perspective, but her words are very true. By and large, women don't do shit that men can't do. Even the stuff that they can do and men are inferior at, they just, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about like logistical work or clerical work. Women are far better at that. That's just the way they're wired. Retail, hospitality, things like that. Men could still do it, but they would just simply prefer that women do it. And that's understandable. But by and large, men are vastly more productive. However, there is one thing that women can do that men can't do. And this is a very, very, very important thing. And that is rear children. Or I should say give birth to children. Men can rear children, but give birth to children. Like that is something that women can do that men can't do, which puts everything else that men can produce on even or if not even inferior scale, because your value will always, is tied to your ability to give birth. And that's why a lot of women, and maybe even this African one, they get upset when they get a certain age, because your primary value to the world, to the universe, is gone. Is gone. You have become enormously less valuable. And you're raging. And you're raging against those who you really, the only ones who possibly would care. And that is Black men. Your primary ability or your primary value, the greatest value, the one thing you can offer that men and a man cannot, it's gone. It's poof. It's gone. It's like a whisper. It's like a Thanos snap, and then you just whisper away to ashy dust. Like that's your uterus. It's gone. Well, your uterus don't go, but that's your last egg. It's gone. Like Justin Timberlake said, your last egg's dead and gone, dead and gone. They're upset when that happens, especially if they haven't created a healthy household by then, and very few of them do. Then they find their value drastically diminished. So think about it like this. I know y'all don't need an analogy, but I'm gonna give this one. If you're fans of Game of Thrones, Jaime Lannister was supposed to be one of, if not the best swordsman in Westeros. With a couple of exceptions, I'm sure. So when dude cut his hand, it wasn't just his hand. He said, it was my sword hand. He cut his right hand. That's his sword hand, his dominant hand. He said, they took my sword hand. This is my sword hand. This is the thing that I am best at, and you have taken it away from me. This is my sword hand. Anyway.
Cook a fucking meal. He could clean a fucking house. A woman, no matter how, she would have to put some real logic together to fucking change a tire. Like, that's gonna take some fucking work. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's women that can do it, but I for sure am not one. If you take 10 men, they could cook and clean a house. If you take 10 women to change oil or to change a fucking tire, or even to even help you out in the fucking rain, them bitches ain't prepared with an umbrella, a chair, nothing. We just be like little bobbleheads walking around. So, it just, that's where I think it came from. When I really sit back and think of it.
Not think about it, I've never seen a woman change a tire.
Ugly women and hoes created the feminist movement. Ugly girls.
So this is when I strongly considered her for a crush. At the time, I didn't know she had a son, and I didn't know that she's possibly married. But there you go.
It has become more evident. It has become more evident now than ever that women leave their marriages simply because they claim they are not happy. And a man will stay in a marriage even though he's not happy. He still sees his family as his responsibility, and he will stick around, and he will still love that woman. You know what I mean? He might cheat on her every now and then, but for the most part, he will still love that woman, and he won't think that he can go out and do better for the most part, even if the girl looks.
Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? I think your name is Dominic, who was talking all that, so women should tolerate a man cheat. It's a practical view of everything. She is taking a practical view of it. It's like, yeah, even though he may cheat. What? I don't even see what the big deal about it is. I think really the only reason why it is a big deal is because other women say it's going to be a big deal. There's, of course, the fear that he'll leave for his mistress, but quiet as kept, men never leave for their mistress. In the movies they do. Waiting to Exhale, he did. Real life, they don't leave Angela Bassett for the secretary. They don't give up half their stuff so they could just go, so they could go buy a cow when they're getting the milk for free. They just don't do that. They just continue to hit it until she age out of hitting it, and then they go find another. Like that's how cheating works. Bill Cosby ain't leaving. Bill Clinton ain't leaving. Like, where's this? So really, a smart woman would be like, hey, that's one less blowjob I gotta give. These are smarter women. Bay Area women are smarter. They're better people.
Women create single family households. There, I said it. Y'all do. Y'all make yourselves single moms and then y'all blame everybody else for it. Because at the end of the day, if it's your body, your choice, right? Most women don't believe in that concept unless it's a nigga she really ain't fucking with like that. Yeah, she'll get rid of the baby. Or if she really is fucking with the nigga real tough and she really believe by getting rid of the baby, they might have a better chance of working out. She might do it. But 9 times out of 10, she looks at that baby as a form of setup. She getting welfare, she getting Section 8, she getting all this other stuff that she's gonna get from the benefits of the baby. And most of the time keeping a nigga around, which a lot of women don't want to admit they didn't want to keep that nigga around. Then all of a sudden you keep the baby, then all of a sudden he a bum ass nigga and he this and the fifth, but he wasn't that when you was keeping the baby after he asked you not to. So you are a single mom by choice. 9 times out of 9, 10 times out of 10, you are a single mom by choice. Because if you didn't like that nigga, if you really wasn't fucking with him, that baby gonna be up there with grandma, grandpa, Aunt Jackie, Uncle Becky, whoever else, St. Jude, Jesus, whoever else is there to greet that motherfucker at the end of that surgery. Because you ain't gonna keep no baby you don't want. That's the end of it. Women create.
She's saying something that the sisterhood fears to hear. She's saying something that the sisterhood fears to hear. I mean, they always knew this. And that's because it's a hustle. They understand that, society is not going to let a baby starve, meaning that, as long as they have a baby, they're not going to starve. So it goes back to the welfare hustle. But there's a number of reasons why a woman would see it beneficial to become a single mom, but they want to become single moms, the ones who are. Most of them want to become single moms, including like the Crystalline Karasin types, talking about, no, I got with this college. Listen, he wanted your vagina. He didn't want you. So you thought that by having his kid would make him want you. But he said, just like I had to say at one point, I'm willing to take care of the kid. I'm willing to take care of my child. But my feelings for you hasn't changed. This doesn't enhance the relationship between the two of us. And a lot of children are failed attempts at that. Hit the like button. Now, look at the comment section. Oh, she's so blackmail centered. Yes, she should be. She should be. I should be at the center of her goddamn universe. And if I see her around, hey, maybe I will be. This was me 2 years ago talking about baby mama culture. I love her type because the universe has a special way of humbling us in time. Okay. It's called infertility. I'm begging someone to pick her. I think everyone is picking her right about now. Can someone please pick this one? Once again, everyone is picking this one. Please pick her. They're all saying the same damn thing. Like is this your only? Is this all you got? Black women, is this all you got? Calling someone a pick me? That's what? This woman is accountable and honest. Yes. Okay, so she replied to that one. So I guess he picked her. This is where accountability starts. Yeah. Or some women are single mothers because they left abusive situation. Now, They like to tell tales, and the tales is always like extreme. They always go to like extreme outliers to make a rule for to make broad rules. And I give an example of this. Like they talk about abortion laws, and then they say, well, what about when the woman was raped? You know, which that happens a microscopic number of times where a woman is both raped into pregnancy. Like most rapists don't like keep their DNA inside of their victim. Because that's how you get caught for rape. I've never raped anybody, but I would assume that that's just how it goes. Anyway, they bring up these outlier cases. So the only solution would be, well, yeah, maybe we should just murder, babies by the thousands in order to, protect this woman who may have been rape pregnant. This is utterly ridiculous. So this whole, I'm a single mother because of an abusive situation. So, why is it in these outlier situations the abuse starts like the day after they have a child? Ever notice that? Like they just create these straw black men that do like the illest shit possible that don't make sense. He wasn't abusive. He was just like this perfect Harvard educated lame, graduate that used to sing to me. He used to sing Ralph Trisband to me, and he used to say, "You need a man with sensitivity." And he bought me flowers every day. And then, he married me and impregnated me. And then 9 months later, he smacked the shit out of me when I was breastfeeding and said, "Those my titties, bitch." And he'd been whipping my ass ever since, so I had to leave. Like, their stories don't make sense. That's what I'm getting at. Their stories never make any damn sense. Well, damn, you're picked for sure. So either she's a pick me or she's been picked. What the hell? But he was a narcissist. He was toxic. He was, yeah, same old song. Notice how she's just ignoring like the other songs. You're a pick me, pick me. You're a pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. He was toxic. He was controlling. He wanted different things, and I outgrew him. Yeah. These bras are so predictable. They don't want to hear that. They don't want that exposed. She didn't tell them. They already knew that. She told the world. They know that they divorce over frivolous shit. Men need to protect this woman at all costs. Protect it. So apparently she is picked. Got the brother here with the suit. Got the young dude here. Got this dude here. So apparently she is picked, while other women are dreaming about being picked. It sucks that the real single mother is the one that lost their parents due to a tragic event. Holy crap. That is an outlier. That is an outlier event that you lose both your parents in a plane crash, or in a car crash, and you were safe because you had on your child safety seat. Get overshadowed by, well, actually, no, they would have to lose one parent in order to do that. I'm thinking like an orphan situation. But anyway, get overshadowed by poor decision-making mothers that want to be called single mothers. Yeah, she said that's different because it is. Ain't no women in the comment section. Where they are, they're calling her pick me. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, she's talking about broke baby mamas. No, she's not. This don't apply to women who were married for long-term relationships who hold careers. Yes, it does. They divorce too. They get tired too. They outgrow their husband too. And it typically comes with a promotion. Like they're, when they get a promotion, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I make 85K and you make 80K, so I outgrew you. And then they get fired because they're stupid bitches. Girl, please, are you speaking from experience? She said, nope. So she's not a single mother. She is a mother, so she's likely married. Which means she's not qualified for crush. Accountability, thank you. Okay. Oh, and by the way, she has a career. She's a nurse. Yes, other women saying the truth. I always do, yes. Both parties need to be held responsible, but continuously planting seeds and expecting nothing to grow is wild. That's not what she's saying. She's saying that the women are allowing it to grow because they want it to grow. Let me read some of y'all guys' comments. Let's see. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Can y'all hear me? Something is not right. Why is it little like that? Oh, crap. Now it's too big. Hold on. Let me just fix what's going on here. Okay, there we go. I suppose a retort would be that the man doesn't want the child, and that caused the man's mask to fall off. Okay, here's what actually happens. First of all, you don't have to wait the 9 months for that to happen. Secondly, we're not okay. They want to create these scenarios where the man don't want the child and the woman does, and the man, due to sexual responsibility, he got her pregnant. That's always the story that they run with, and sometimes it's true. From what I've seen and from what I've noticed, I've never actually been deep in this situation, is that the women go through hormonal changes that makes them obnoxious bitches during pregnancy. And the relationship wasn't strong enough to withstand this change in behavior. And I'm talking that's what happens when either party just leaves. Like, her hormones make her not herself. However, she can make decisions as if she is herself. She can decide to end a relationship based on what her hormones is telling her to do. And some guys leave the relationship because of the woman she becomes when her hormones are out of whack. That is a factor, and that happens when you hear about these situations where, the guy is still in the child's life, but he broke up with the woman like when the child was very young. Okay, good. You hear me? All right. It says, when they can't argue against logic, they make up personal attacks, even sometimes as irrelevant as calling them pick me. That's not an attack. Pick me women are better women. Jesus, they're better women. They're better at being women. She's speaking from experience. Okay, LOL. All right. I'm a female. 100% agree with you. That's good. All right, let's see. Yes, you will be chosen now. What's the prize? I'm pretty sure she already has her prize. If not, she'll get it. I mean, if the prize is a healthy family, then she'll get it. Okay, so playing virtue. All right. Okay. Oh, my bad. I don't have the thing on. I don't have the share screen on. All right, let me put on the share screen. What's good, King Picks? All right. The most educated group in America crying over food stamps. Thriving in chaos. Women hate men until they need something. Don't trust a strong, independent woman. Yeah. So she's been on this journey for a while. Like, because sometimes what you see, and this is what I was checking for. Oh, wait a minute. 30-year-old virgin to single mom. Okay, I'm gonna check that one out. American women need to be shamed. Yes. What is a woman supposed to do for a man? Okay. So apparently she was on this kick because this is the viral video. This is the 184,000 views video where she's talked about her sons and stuff. And this is the one everybody covered. Anton Daniels covered it. But apparently she has been on this pick me journey for a while now. So she's legit, because sometimes what happened is a woman will make a video on a particular topic and then she sees her viewership go up. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to stick with that. But she was talking that talk, she was about that life before. And it says, when your man get home, get off the phone. Agreed. If it wasn't illegal, people would date 12-year-olds. I know that for a fact. I actually used to work with a dude, white dude. He was the redneckiest dude I ever known in my life. And he not only was going to marry, he was like in his early 20s. He not only was going to marry a 12-year-old, they were also loosely related. I forget how. I know it was some type of cousins. He used to hit because I had never met a dude like him. I haven't really met a dude like him since. I never, but at that time I was maybe like 18, and I have never grown up in Oakland. I didn't really know many white people that didn't grow up like I did. So that's one. But I never met like a true mullet wearing, slack jawed, crooked teeth, baseball trucker cap, even though he's not a trucker, white dude that stores deer meat for the winter. I never met anybody that stored meat for the winter. He told me he stored meat for the winter, and I thought that was weird. First of all, that he eat deer, I thought it was weird. So it was all kind of stuff that I listened to him like, wow, he was one different motherfucker, right? But then when he told me about that whole 12-year-old situation, this was the 90s. I thought like, okay, he is on some fucking cousin fucking jail baiting, just nasty deer meat storing shit going on in his life. And he's able to do it because he gets permission from the girl's mother, who's probably his aunt and shit. So I know what she's saying about this is just because of that dude. I know that shit be real in some places. Ooh, Shiva 7 fans are dumber than I thought. I'm gonna click that later. Aisha Curry thinks she better than Steph because she light skinned it, but he's light skinned it. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. Steph and Aisha, they're not from the Bay Area, are they? He was drafted into the Warriors, wasn't he? Because if they were, it'd be clear that light skinnedness don't really hold that much weight, if any, here. And Shay Sade even said it, like, you know, she has a lighter sister and a darker sister, and they never talked about it because it's not a big fucking deal here at all. So, like, nobody is really tripping like that. If you're pretty, you're pretty, and it's not because of your skin complexion. But yeah, they probably came. She probably came somewhere else with that bullshit. Single woman, 45 and up, are damaged goods. So it's best to not become one. Yeah. Cardi B, just a ghetto baby mama. Let's see. Dang, she be getting a lot of views with this. Get in the gym, you big backs. Okay, so y'all see this. Y'all think I'm alone. Y'all think I'm weird. Y'all think I'm retarded. No, I'm from the East Bay. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Either get fit or get the fuck out. And where do they go, Mississippi? They go to places where swamp niggas enjoy shit like that. Oh, okay. These are kids. At least I think that's her kids. So she even has daughters. Look like they're twins. She even has daughters, and she's saying this. She's saying this about the thing, but she knows the difference between black daughters and nigglets. And she's saying she don't want her son, him right here, to marry not women like her daughters, excuse me, but to marry women like the ones at Great America, or excuse me, at Six Flags. I got to get used to that. We don't change. That's why we still call East 14th East 14th. Y'all feel sorry for my daughters is crazy. Why? Okay, I want to click that too. I don't want to sit here and click all her shit. But I think she might be the first person I subscribe to on Instagram. I don't follow anybody. At least not that I know of. Or maybe I do. Maybe I follow some of you that follow me. In fact, I think I do. So she wouldn't be the first person I follow on Instagram. Oh, no, she'll be the first person I follow on TikTok. That's what it is. She'll be the first person I follow on TikTok. Oh, I got to click this one. Maybe. So the other woman who's like, you know, looking at the kids, that's a strong possibility. But then looking at her, she probably got with an equally exotic dude. So maybe, I don't know. But it don't really matter. Like the African woman was like, you're married to a black man. Black man, you married to a black man. You think you're better than me? She is better than you. Shut the fuck up.
White and hella ugly. Okay, anyway though, the amount of fucking hate that I get on this app daily is fucking crazy. And it's even crazier because I've been getting that hate literally for a long time. Social media created like a mean girls like category. Like you bitches come on fake pages to troll people, and it's like, how much of a loser are you? Like, why do you care so much about what someone else is doing in their life? Like, why is your obsession with that person so intense that you have to make a fake fucking page, and then when they block you, you make another fake page to disrupt that person's life? It's like, you really don't have shit going for yourself. Like, you are in fact a fucking loser. Like, you aren't shit, because it's kind of like, you're hiding behind a fake page. Like, you don't have the balls to even say what you want to say to that fucking person. But then you bitches make fake pages and say everything under the fucking sun because you know you're not gonna get caught. That is some real life bitch shit. Like, and then you talk, and the shit that you talk is like, yeah, it may be true and it may not be true. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because you don't even have the balls to face that fucking person. You don't have the fucking balls to get your ass beat.
She funny, I give you that. I like how she turned the Keisha Gatoness into um back on them. She's fighting fire with fire. I like that, you know. Shay Sade, I love her, but Shay, if you listening, sometimes I need like a little bit, as long as it's focused towards the other Keishas. I need like a little bit. I need Blade. I need Blade. That's what I need. I need a black woman Blade. I need a woman who has all of Keisha's strengths and none of her weaknesses and goes out and hunts Keisha's. That's what I need. That's what I need. I need a person who is half Keisha, half Bridget that goes out and hunts Keisha's. Fuck you, Marshall Ali. You ain't no karate man. You ain't no kung fu fighting black ninja, dark skin sword ninja. You not Nino Brown. Fuck you. You are Jim Crow. You are to play roles where it's the South and it's the 50s and you're not looking white people in the face because you're afraid to get lynched. Fuck you. Wesley Snipes is Blade. You no colored bastard. Why are you stepping on history? Jackass. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. All right, let me scroll down some more. Oh, okay. So her and her husband is Puerto Rican. Okay. Black adjacent, I guess. Oh, wait, what the hell is this? Is this you in a bra? Listen. Black women. Oh, maybe that's a dress. That just look like that when you just look at the top. Okay. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a dress. Okay. So, nevertheless, I'm going to say my public service announcement anyway. Black women don't wear those flesh colored bras, those beige bras, because you're not beige. You're not a white woman. It's not made for you. It's kind of like Band-Aid isn't made for my skin complexion. It's not made for you. You're walking around with Band-Aid and then you show it off like it's lingerie. What the fuck? Stop doing stuff like that. But she didn't do it. Thank goodness, because that she was a roast. That was a roaster coming. It was brewing. It was brewing. But nope. All right. Let's see. What's wrong with being an in-house servant? Not a damn thing. Okay. Follow my YouTube. Oh, Rika. Okay. So yeah, so she's Puerto Rican and maybe her dude's Puerto Rican and they have kids that are, Puerto Rican American. Well, Puerto Rico is American territory, so they're Puerto Rican kids. Oh, okay. When cute men marry ugly girls. Let's see what this is about. Because y'all know I'm against this shit. See, we're of the same brain. Know what I mean? See, there's a reason why Bay Music has a common I don't give a fuck about a bitch, too short undertone. It's not many, if any, like, you know, Ralph Tresvant R&B type, you know, I'll pay your rent. We don't have any of those, you know, we different. And let's see what she has to say.
Y'all ever see a couple and the girl is just like kind of like mid a little bit, and the boy is like real life, like top notch ass motherfucker, like this
Yeah, we call that black relationships.
motherfucker's like the bomb, like he's everything he should be in a man, right? And you're just like, how the fuck did she get him to fucking marry her? You know, you really think about it, but it's because of this and because of this, honestly. You know what I mean? And because she does this.
No, it's not.
You know, at the end.
No, it's not. It's because he's conditioned to put up with that shit. Listen, y'all know that what's that dude name? He's from Stockton. He's from like not too far from where I grew up. And Stockton is actually where my godmother lived when I was growing up, and my dad would take me to visit her from time to time. So it's not too far. And apparently, at least according to that prison mugshot, he was the handsomest nigga alive for a period of time. And his wife looked like shit. And I think he divorced her and, you know, like leveled up. But his wife looked like some fucking, like she was raised underneath a fucking trailer. Like she was raised in a sewer under a trailer park and shit. You know, and I don't think trailer parks have sewers, which really just says something about how she raised. She looked like she was the like the 12-year-old bitch that redneck dude married, grew up, divorced him, and fucked with Jeremy Meeks. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? This was an extreme imbalance. But see, he was taught to settle for less. Black men don't know their worth. If he did, he wouldn't be robbing houses when he's like the handsomest nigga alive. You know, he didn't know. He didn't know his fucking worth. We're conditioned to not know it.
Of the day, a man does not care about you doing all this. He don't care about the palm tree eyelashes. He don't care about your long ass clickety clack nails. He don't give a fuck about your side bang fucking lace front with the baby hairs all the way down here. He don't give a fuck about none of that shit, because you bitches aren't bringing peace. You bitches are bringing more problems than fucking peace. You know what I mean? Then you get mad when he.
Well, the things that she described are visual representations of not bringing peace. So, like, if every obnoxious bitch wore eyelashes like that, then you're going to develop a disdain for eyelashes. If every beautiful woman wore eyelashes, you develop an appreciation for it. Take me, for example, right? Even to this day, even though, you know, I haven't dated one like in a wow. Yeah, what did I say? Did I say Jeremy Miller, that nigga who face I want to smack? Yeah, Jeremy Meeks, Prison Bay. Anyway, where was I? Oh, okay, braces. I used to have, and my friends used to think it was some type of bondage shit going on. Like, because I do like metal and I like handcuffs and shit like that, but braces was something different. It was a different type of attraction. And I didn't know what it was. Like, why did I like it so much? In high school, I'd be like, oh, damn, she got braces. That shit turned me on. And then as I got older, I was like, you know something? In my subconscious, I was correlating braces with a certain behavior type. Because what does it mean when a girl has braces? And I'm talking both like high school, college, you know, this fetish didn't really go away, you know, but it started when I, like right after puberty, when, you know, so dealing with girls. What does it mean when a girl has braces? It means that she has a father who has a dental plan, who cares about her fucking teeth. That's what it means. And girls like that tend to have a personality that's vastly and wildly different than a girl who didn't. So really, I'm attracted to the personality type. I just see that personality type a lot more frequently with girls with braces. And that's where attraction comes from. So if you see a personality type with girls with lashes that you don't like in a higher frequency, then you're going to be repulsed by the lashes, but really you're going to be repulsed by the girls under the lashes. And that's why people, guys, in general, especially dealing with black girls, they look at tattoos like, okay, it's a red flag. And it is, but still take time out to look underneath. Like, hey, maybe not.
Yes. Well, what do you bring to the table? I am the table. How are you the table, ma'am? Please explain. Because I'm tired of hearing bitches like, when you are the table. Just because you got a good job don't mean that you're the fucking table. Bitches think because they go to college and they get a good job that they are in fact the fucking table. No, you are not. How are you the table? Everybody got a good fucking job. All of us went to fucking college. But you don't hear me claiming I'm the whole fucking table. I'm a surgical assistant. I'm the whole fucking table. I would never, that wouldn't be in my qualifications. That's why I don't do shit in my scrubs, because I don't want that to be my personality, because that's not my personality. You know what I mean? So again, women need to take a step back and stop focusing 100% on fucking looks. Yeah, look good, keep your body in shape, but don't think just because you look good you're gonna get a man. Y'all ever see a couple and the girl is just like kind of like mid?
Dang, she be having music like in random ones, so I have to click out. But nevertheless, y'all get the gist of it. So, genuine pick me. Now, I'm going to talk about this Ayesha Curry situation for a second. Ayesha Curry is afraid to walk a pick me's path. And the reason why she's afraid to walk a pick me's path is even though she has like all the markers, she's a woman who was picked at a very young age. And, she literally has like the perfect life. In fact, my own grandma, actually, I should be upset. My grandma got more shit up from the Currys and the Obamas than she do of me. Now, this is not a shot at grandma. I would never shoot at grandma because she has more pictures of grandkids up than she has more pictures of Obamas and Currys up. But I'm just saying she has like a lot of Obamas and Currys up in the house. And for one, she's an Oakland grandma who watched basketball. So of course there's that. But also she just respect their Christian family structure. Same with the Obamas. And that's what she promotes in her house. And that's how she promoted her life. My grandma's pick me. That got picked. Indefinitely. So, and I'm a result of such a behavior. So Ayesha has like this perfect life. And society that she wants to be a part of calls her a pick me for it. So every now and again, she throws out a jab at Steph. She pulls the ring off to just be like, just to have friends, just to have fucking friends. It's a shame that black women have to do that just to fit in, because there are far too few pick me's out there for her to have a solid network and circle. So she pretends like she's just like, what's that broad's name? Diana Ross, Tracy Ellis Ross. They because she pretends like she's like one of those, like, oh no, I just happened to have gotten married to a rich, handsome man that the world respects. That he's isn't he like a legend? You people that watch basketball, is he a legend? I mean, I know LeBron James is, I know Michael Jordan is, I know like what's his name? Magic Johnson is. So I know that there's legends. I know that in every sports, there's the Babe Ruths, there's what's his name, Jackie Robinson, and the Muhammad Ali's and stuff like that. So every sport has legends, Bo Jackson, and these are people who become household names, even in nerd households. You don't have to watch sports to know who these people are. Mike Tyson. Y'all tell me in the chat, is Steph Curry one of those people? Because I think he is. So instead of for being happy, being married to a legend or a semi-legend, she has to pretend on some fuckery. Like she's just like, look, I didn't want this. Yes, you did. Shut the fuck up. You just wanna pretend like you the same as these fucking ratchet ass Great America bitches. But you're not. You're better, but you don't want to come off as conceited so you can have friends. This woman here, she don't care about what other bitches say. So salute to her. Oh, wow. Top 10 of all time. Hey, that is impressive. Because, like, I named, like, I don't know him, but I named, like, 5. So, that means he's up there with, like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So he's a legend. That's good for him. Good for him. So, yeah. Like I say, shit, grandma love him. So, like, hey. Anyway, she had one on Shira 7 I'm going to play. Holy shit, this one looks funny. So for those of you who don't know, there's a toy called a rose, and it's a sex toy. It's a rose-shaped vibrator that a woman stick up her pussy. And I seen years ago on World Star Hip Hop that the electromagnetic field was destroying all their eggs. And while I was watching the video, because the girl who was shoving the rose up her pussy and destroyed all her eggs can get it, I was thinking, like, you want to know what don't have electromagnetic fields? My dick. But hey, to each his own. Anyway, let's take a look.
And speaking of those nasty ass rose toys, you bitches are weird, bro. You bitches have desensitized ass vaginas, bro. Like, and I've heard a few bitches say that, like, oh yeah, like while we're having sex, I have to get my toy because I can't finish. Bitch, what? This is human to human connection, and you tell me you can't fucking finish? Oh, well, it's because of the man. No, bitch, it is not because of the man. Bitch, it is because you bitches are sitting up here using that fucking 3,000 watt ass fucking rose toy, all these other fucking toys.
Why did she say 3,000 watt? Why did she say 3,000 watt though? Hold on. I want to give y'all a perspective. All right. A light bulb uses 100 watts. So what she's saying, oh no, 2 light bulbs. 2 light bulbs uses 100 watts. Oh no, it says 2 to 100. My bad. So let's just say at max, a light bulb uses 100 watts. She's saying that you bitches are shoving up 30 light bulbs up your pussy. But men are losers, the ones that fuck sex robots? Okay.
Just got the fucking cooch out of fucking whack. Talking about, oh, well, that's because I don't need a man. I don't need this. I don't need that. Bitch, you know how dumb you sound to say that you don't need a man, that you don't need human connection? Like, you bitches are so fucking weird. You don't hear men walk around like, oh, look, I got this hand jack 3,000. I don't need a bitch no more.
Oh, shit. She definitely drinks Oakland water. Why does she sound like a much more attractive version of me? What the fuck? This is funny as hell. This is funny as hell. I'm telling you, there's something in the bay. Y'all need listen to us. We have wisdom that the rest of y'all don't. because this is exactly how I just said that. I just said that in so many words. I mean, I was talking about fucking sex robots, but I'm like, what the fuck? You know, men don't brag about that and say we don't need a woman. What the fuck?
No, bitch, like women are so fucking weird. Why are we like this? And then your guys be like, oh, you need to get you a toy. For what, bitch? I'm not no horny ass bitch that needs to be fucked and sucked 24 fucking 7. I will wait on my man. It is fine to fucking wait. It is fine to not have your cooch touched every day. It's fine. Like, you bitches really sit up here and just do every step of the way. You bitches do too much. And speaking of those nasty,
I'm glad I clicked on that. That was a nice funny rant. And also, look at this bitch. This is the same bitch. She was the first one that commented on the other video with the same comment. My God, girl, they're gonna pick you. They're not gonna pick you. Look at you. And it's not just the looks. Look at you. Look at your behavior. Going around hating on other women's shit. Mad because she's more pickable and more stickable than you. Just a hating. And this is what Aisha Curry is afraid of. See, pygmies like to be liked by all. But the sisterhood don't like people that men like. Therefore, she can't be a proper part of the sisterhood. Look at this bitch. She looks like a furry shit. Okay. Look at her skin. The truth about golden doodles, I don't even want to know. She's not a distant relative, is she? Could be. Could be. You know, like, I mean, anything's possible. Like, you know, um, she's Puerto Rican, like, so it would have to be like a long distance relative. Oh, this is the one I want to see.
I don't know about y'all, but I want to meet the man that swindled this young lady out her B card after 30 years. You know how many people have tried in 30 goddamn years, and this dude came along without a wedding ring and got her pregnant? Who the hell is this guy? Like, do we have his address? Like, what kind of game?
I could have been that guy. Have I had virgins? Yes. 5 to be exact. And I came across this one woman who went out on a date with, and she told me she was a virgin. Perhaps if I would have played my cards right, I would have smashed. But I don't want to. I don't want to take a woman's virginity who was saving it for someone special, because I know I ain't shit. The last the last V card I took was from a woman who was into women but wanted to try men, but she didn't want to just go out, you know, on some not knowing what the fuck to do shit. So she fucked me. I was the last one. I'll take that virgin. I'm not gonna take like an innocent virgin who's been saving her shit her whole life to come across my trifling ass. Fuck that. I'm an asshole, but I'm not that type of an asshole. But apparently he was. So let's listen.
Was he cooking up? Imagine that. That is fucking crazy. And then for her to come and tell us even more, I wouldn't even told nobody this. Like, I understand you. It's not the flex she thought it was. I'm sorry. I mean, she hurt. I understand she hurt. I'll be sick. Lord knows. But to give it up without a wedding ring after 30 years, girl, you ain't been around no men. You ain't seen no games being played. Your friends ain't told you about no hit it and quit it. Like, her thought process.
And another thing, I'm not a complete piece of shit. So the thing, and here's what I mean by that. I fuck women that I have long-term intentions with, and I fuck women who I only have short-term intentions with, but they don't know that my intentions are short-term. So when she told me she was a virgin, I'm like, okay, the only way I can ethically fuck her is if I have long-term intentions with her. And the question is do I have long-term intentions with a 27-year-old virgin? This didn't happen recently. This happened when I was in my 30s, like early 30s. And the answer to that is no, I don't. Just the fact that she has the discipline to not fuck for 27 years and to starve off all the pressure means that the marriage would be with somebody who don't crave my dick. Who, if we get into an argument, she'll just go another 27 years without fucking. It seems like anybody that can go that long is going, like, it's going to be conversations to where, I don't want to find myself in a marriage to anybody, to where I have to say some shit like, hey, it's April. This is the month that we're supposed to have sex. Whenever you see or hear some shit like that, you know you done fucked up. You know you done married the wrong bitch. And I fear that that's what happens when you marry a 27-year-old virgin. You marry an 18-year-old virgin when you're 19 or some shit, that's one thing. But she's been holding that shit for a while.
This has to be that of a 12-year-old, because first off, how you get pregnant? Girl, the story gets worse and worse. And then she does what everybody hates. You ain't been around no men. You ain't seen no games being played. Your friends ain't told you about no hit it and quit it. Like, her thought process has to be that of a 12-year-old, because first off, how you get...
Well, she rejected guys. I don't know. This is, yeah.
Pregnant. Girl, the story gets worse and worse. And then she does what everybody hates. She comes online and cries and tells us about it. Like, nah, baby, once you start hunching, bitch, you grown now. Ain't no, we can't save you. We can't help you from not being a single mom. So you should have just kept the story to yourself. That is insane. I don't know.
Okay. It is wild, but here's my theory. Hear me out. I think that she just did it. First of all, I think that she wanted to get pregnant. She's not going to admit it, but I think that she wanted to get pregnant. She's like, okay, I tried this path, and by now, not fucking should have yielded me a dedicated husband, like Devon Franklin, who waited till marriage, and what's her and Shay Shardae's wife, or excuse me, no disrespect, brother, Shay Shardae's husband. They waited. So it did yield her a husband. Same tactic, it just didn't work with this particular woman. So she's like, listen, I'm not getting any younger. And it's better to be a single mom than buying a dog and dying alone. So I'm going to take in some sperm and hope for the best. He just came around at the right time. He didn't say or do anything that no one else said or did within the first 12 years of her adult life. That didn't happen. Her circumstances changed. That biological clock started, and he was around for the sticking. Period. She did the math. Like, if I wasn't successful at getting a dude to marry me in the last 12 years, how long will it take if I start today to get a dude to marry me? I have to hyper accelerate this relationship. And one way to do that is to cut some of the red tape on that pussy. Desperate times. All right. So I seen that one. Now let's move on. Let's move on. Read some of your comments. Cause I seen Chaos Rain in here talking about I didn't read your earlier comment. It's a lot of comments. Damn. Damn it, Chaos. All right, let me see if I can find your old ass comment. All right, let's see. All right, give me a moment. Looking through the comments. Okay, here we go. You know, she issued an apology on her TikTok for the ladies that went in on young black girls. Or damn it, can't. So I was just on her Instagram. I didn't see no apology. It looked like she was doubling down, like she was with the shit. Like she was on some, feisty Latina, Puerto Rica, Bay Area mommy shit. By the way, notice how when black women say, how come when Latina women do it, it's spicy, but when black women do it, it's ghetto, or it's ratchet, or it's attitude. I'm gonna tell you why right now. I'm gonna tell you why when they do it, it's a good thing, and when you do it, it's hot garbage. Hold on. Wait, did I click the wrong thing? Okay. I'm going to tell you why. Because they do it with their man. They do it for their man. See, when a woman gets ratchet in defense of her children and your children, that shit turns me on. When a woman gets ratchet against you, when she actually is targeting you with the bullshit, that turns you off. The reason that you ask that question is because you're stupid. That's like me. That's like me if I were to say, hey, when Haitian guys are violent, it turns you on. When a Jamaican dude knocks somebody out, you get turned on. But when I knock somebody out, you get turned off. And she just says, it's because you knocked me out, nigga. Women to get turned on watching you knock somebody else out, but when you knock them out, they get turned off. That's a stupid observation. Like, why do you get mad when I knock your ass out? You get turned on when I knock other people out? You're stupid. That is a dumb question. How come when Latina women do it, they got attitudes, but when black women do it, it's because we're ratchet, because you're doing it to me, you stupid fat bitch. That's why. It's because you do it to me. That's the difference. which is a big motherfucking difference. Watching a woman fight in the street, like Latina, they when they get ratchet, it's because it's some shit like your son pulled my daughter's hair and he needs to apologize. Bitch, my son ain't apologizing to nothing, and then they just go at it. That shit turns me on. And I'm standing there looking at the other woman titty pop out and saying beat that bitch ass. That shit turns me on. She is out in the street defending the honor of a little niglet that pulled the son's hair. That shit turns me on. Having a bitch pour garbage on my face because I didn't dump the trash last night is a fucking turnoff. And y'all don't know the difference because you're stupid as fuck. Fucking half retards, all of you. So that's why it's hot when she do it. And it's not when you do it. She could wear lashes. I don't give a shit. She could wear fake hair. I don't give a shit. She could have tattoos. I don't give a shit. But what she can't do is act like an obnoxious bitch and direct it towards me. I remember one time I was at a club with a ratchet chick, right? And she clicked all the ghetto stereotypes. But the bartender went on break and didn't give me my change. I don't know if he forgot or something like that. He gave me the drink, and then I looked up, and then he started walking away. And before I could even say shit, she was all up in this nigga's face, and he gave me my change. I was like, oh shit, I mean, yes, not the classiest thing, but what the fuck if I didn't get my change from $20 back? So, I mean, I wasn't turned on or turned off by that, but I'm just saying, because, but nevertheless, it was effective and to my favor. But if she tried to point that shit towards me, it's a whole nother story. Do that shit outwardly. Her husband is not complaining when she called a ratchet bitch a 12-year-old a ratchet bitch, when she's a ratchet bitch because she's the mother of his twin daughters that are going to be 12-year-old girls themselves, and he knows that she is so disgusted by the behavior that she will never allow her 12-year-old daughters, her soon-to-be 12-year-old daughters, to behave that way. Talking about little dicks and shit. So yes. See, this is good ratchet. This is good ratchet. They don't understand that. They think ratchet is ratchet because they stupid like that. All right, moving on. When I see a black woman, all I can think of is baby mama. Yeah, that's because they have developed a poor reputation for themselves. Daywalker Keisha. Yeah, I'm a funny motherfucker. Oh, by the way, Jermaine, and everybody else that's listening, there's talks in the works. It was supposed to be tomorrow. There's talks in the works on in-person collaboration with Shay Sade, her husband, and stuff. So I'm gonna be meeting up with the Sades pretty soon. And we'll do an in-person collaboration on that topic. On a topic. I don't know if she wants me to reveal it, so I'll just keep it under wraps for now, but stay tuned for that. It'll likely be on her channel. So yeah. All right, just looking up some more comments. All right, her and her husband is Puerto Rican. Good for them. And they wonder why dudes go to Puerto Rico. Or just go to Latin America. They wonder why non-Austin Holloman people go to Latin America. What the fuck? What the fuck? When all is said and done, Steph will be the top 10 of all time. Yeah, I see him going down that path. Just by the way people talk about him and stuff. Thank you. Thank you. I am a hilarious person. And it's going to get better. I got plans in the works for my channel to upgrade the quality. More bells and whistles. Notice that I've been using AI to make thumbnails now. So he literally changed the way the game is played. Okay. Okay. Shout out to him. Hey, light skin power. So, you know, between him and Andre Ward, light skin Bay dudes is killing it. I don't know too many black men who divorce a Latina. I don't think black men divorce anybody. We have everything to lose and nothing to gain in a divorce, except when you're divorcing Keisha that you didn't know was Keisha before you married her. Calling a woman a pick me as an insult is almost like calling an IT worker tech nerd as an insult. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of what we are. I had a in college. So the university I went to, you had to take like these 1-unit courses that you, and it was just somebody of significant importance that gave a seminar 5 times a semester. So you had to take 2 of those. One of them was a woman who was teaching resume building. And not only did she do that, she also did like a lot of senior project sponsorships. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, and I think that this is for all STEM and all engineering, the senior year you have to do a major product in an industry, meaning that you have to go out into industry and work for free for a year, you and a team of other people. You have to find somebody. So if you guys have a project, then check your local university to see if you could get on that. Anyway, so she sponsored a lot of those, so everybody knew her for that reason. And she used to call us nerds all the time. She would say stuff like, "Yeah, you nerds gotta." She just said casually, like nobody gave a shit. We know who we are. What the fuck? What are you gonna get mad? Like what the hell? That's an excuse black women use to act out. True. Most Latinas don't just flip out on dudes for no reason. Plus, they make better wives. This is true. However, I'll tell y'all a story. When I got a little bit of taste of Latina spice, and she's actually a nice woman, and we still friends. But I have to say, I was like, damn, this is about to happen. And I did get that Keisha feel when I was in the car with her. So we're friends. Don't think that anything happened between us, because it's not. She's cool people. I'm not gonna like create false stories like that. But it was at night, and she was taking me to her place in the DR. All right. And but for non-sexual reasons. And on the way there, it was like a small group of looked like they was in their 20s, right? Some of the girls was crying, some of the dudes looked mad, and it was a dude on the street that was just laid the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, so either he just got jumped or he just caught a fade one-on-one, but it didn't go his way. Now, especially when I'm in a foreign country or something, I see some shit like that. I just, because I seen that in Panama or in Costa Rica. I seen the dude get jumped and knocked the fuck out and laid out. I just mind my own fucking business. But she's from there. And she's older. So she feels it's her place. She's old enough to be those kids' mama. So she feels it's her place to check them. Now, keep in mind, it's me, her friend, and her in the car. And I'm the only dude. So I'm like, so who these YNs gonna come at? They're not gonna come at, their mother figure. They're gonna come at me, the foreign dude. So I'm like, oh shit. This chick just got me into some bullshit. Cause she said, why don't you call somebody and take him to the hospital? And he was like, and from what little Spanish I know, he was saying stuff like, shut up or you're gonna be next. And then she got like hyper Spanish and she was like Chiquita banana, Chiquita banana, Chiquita banana. She was just yelling. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get jumped and be the next motherfucker possibly laid out on the thing, waiting for a fucking Dominican ambulance that'll probably take forever to come. Ain't this some shit, right? So, but the other woman just drove off. Sometimes that spice can go against you. Sometimes it can go against you. So I wouldn't say, to your point, Prime VA, I wouldn't say it's no reason, at least in that story. I wouldn't say it's no reason. But yeah, sometimes they do the shit at an inappropriate time. Sometimes. The stereotypical Keisha, they do that shit regular. Scooby eats snacks, Pac-Man eat dots, and they get fucking random ass attitudes that'll fuck your entire life up. Yeah, when Latinas do it, it's to help their men. Yeah, I agree. So she was helping some dude that was laid the fuck out. So yeah. And I don't know, maybe like when he woke up, they was gonna knock his ass out again. Nah, I should joke about that. But what did Chris Tucker say? You got knocked the fuck out. When black women do it, they do it to tear black men down. Absolutely. And that is the fundamental difference. That is the fundamental difference. They swear it's the same shit. And that we only appreciate it when Latina do it because they're Latina. They retards. That's what's up, GC. Somebody says something that I missed that I want to respond to. She's not a distant relative. Yeah, I said that one. Let's see. That's old news. I covered that 3 years ago. You talking about the rose? Yeah, I said it was old. But I'm saying that's how I knew what a rose was. Like if somebody said that, like if I seen that in the thing, in that context, I wouldn't know what the fuck she was talking about. And I wouldn't have clicked on it. But no, I knew because of that video. Like, oh, they shove plastic roses up their pussy. Black women coined the term pick me like a fifth grader making fun of other students for doing something right, like being a teacher's pet. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Except better than a teacher's pet, my pet. Aisha Curry doesn't need friends when she's married to a guy like Steph. Well, yes and no. Women have a much stronger need, just like men have a much stronger sex drive. Women have a much stronger drive towards interacting. They need human connection. They need to talk. They need to gossip. They just need that. They're a lot more social than we are. That's why, when I was a kid, my dad had trouble getting a controller out my hand, and he had trouble getting a phone out my sister's hand. They're social. when I say controller, I'm talking about Nintendo controller. You know, they're social. They're just built like that. So, but with men, family is enough. Like, hey, I got my wife, I got my kids. I don't care if I ever have a fucking friend, you know, ever in life. We're more prone to that. But no, they still need their fucking social circles. So I get it, but there are other ones. Like she could just be like she could go to grandma church. Shit. She could and she probably do. She probably do. Not go to the grandma church, but go to a church. I think that she just wants to be liked by all, and by all that includes Keisha. You know, pick-me's want to be liked by all. That's why they bake cakes for the whole neighborhood on their birthday. That's why they give out whole candy bars on Halloween and shit. But don't try to please Keisha. What in the fuck? She need to just fucking spiral in her own hatred. Okay, so they grew up in North Carolina. Okay. Isn't that the worst Carolina? All right, let's see. Yeah, okay, so y'all are saying that. Damn it. All right, let's see. No, they can't argue against her logic. They never can. I mean, these women have been told birth that, you know, pleasing a black man is going to destroy you. I mean, and they don't even have to be taught directly by their mom, even though far too many were taught directly by their mom. They are just told through the movies and every form of entertainment that they embrace. You know, like that waiting to exhale thing. Like, you see, if you become a pick-me, he's going to leave you for a white woman. Like, if you don't become a pick-me, you're never going to get picked. Very few men leave their wives for mistresses. Unless they would have left them anyway, which means that they didn't leave them for a mistress. They got the mistress and they were planning their exit well before, because you're an obnoxious bitch. But every movie, notice this, the theme of every movie that black women embrace, it's always a black man leaving a decent black woman. So they're afraid to get pick-me's because that's what make a man leave. And Tyler Perry jumped on the bandwagon, you know, when the lawyer, you know, he beats his wife and you know, for the Latina type shit. So these women are afraid to be pick-me's because that's what we do. You know, we smack a pick-me. For whatever reason, they think that we have a desire to beat pick-me's and become simps for over aggressive Keisha bitches, because that's what The Color Purple was. He beat his pick-me wife and treated his side piece Suge Avery better. So they're like, oh, I'm gonna be Suge Avery. And they just waited. It's simple. They simple. They watch too much damn TV. That's what it is. Fact, they need to be part of a larger group as a survival instinct, as they are the weaker sex. Yeah, that's largely. I mean, it could be that they do that because, you know, it takes a community to raise children, so they have to be social. If I had to, like, I would have to like really, really search. If I was a single dad, I would have to like really, really search far and wide to fill up my house with the same age kids as me for a birthday party, or same age kids as my kid for a birthday party. It would be like a tremendous task. And of course the kid would have some of his own, but I'm talking about like the ones that I bring. It would be a very difficult task. Women do that all the time. My mom did that all the time. You know, I mean, of course there were my friends, the friends I made at daycare and the friends I made at school and in the neighborhood. So there were those, but then she had like a not insignificant amount of her friends' sons and daughters. And these are the same bitches that she be on the phone yapping with all day that my dad don't do. My dad don't do that crap. It's my mom who's on the phone talking about, you know, who's fucking who and who's getting fat, you know, like all the damn time. And then when it's time for my birthday, you know, they bring their sons and daughters. So that's what women do. Like that's just part of having a vagina. Fuck it, you know. There's advantages to that. Somebody said, didn't know that Steph grew up in North Carolina, but makes sense when you think about it because Steph's father, Dale, played. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, of course they do. I read that study. Of course, that study came out and they were talking about Flavor of Love when that study came out. I know exactly the study you're talking about. I read it and yeah, they do. And not only that, it seems to have a stronger influence on them, which is why they seem to have like this hive mind mentality because they all watch the same shit. And they all allow it to influence them in a much stronger way. Facts, GC, social imperative, and safety in numbers. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why they're like that. That's why, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna go. That's why they have terms like the male loneliness epidemic. And that's because men definitely are not in relationships as much as we used to be. But women aren't either. But the reason that men are looked at as the lonely ones is because we don't get together with the homies just to kick it. My homies call me right now and say like, you know, hey, GC, I need you for ... and we get together on that. But, you know, to just get together and sip mimosas and talk about whatever bitches talk about, nah. I mean, you know, like that whole I just need somebody to talk to. We don't have that. But we don't have it not because we're lonely, it's because we don't need it. Like if men really needed connection the way women did, you know, just to not be considered lonely, then we would do the same shit. It would be like the loneliest man I could think of, fictitious man, was Jim Carrey's character on Cable Guy. And that's because he was trying to be friends with people who really they weren't looking for friends. But in women's circles, they're full of cable guys that just find each other. Men aren't like that. We don't need connections like that. If we did, it'd be like a bunch of Beavis and Butthead type relationships where you just find another dipshit and watch stupid shit with. Like, it's not, you know, it's not that serious to us. You know, we have friends that are there when we need them. That's all we can ask for. Facts. The media becomes their reality. Yeah. Yeah, they need to turn the shit off. They need to turn off the TV and do stuff. That's why they're fat. You see, there's a reason why we grow up in the same household eating the same fried chicken with shortening grease that they pour back into the can and then use again. But she comes out obese and he comes out athletic. There's a reason for that. And that's because the boys actually got out and did shit. Like play basketball. Girls just be in the house watching shit that teach them how to be more ratchet. And thank God I'm my age. Like, because we didn't even have like TV that was too ratchet. We had Cosby Show, we had Different Strokes, we had Jeffersons, and Good Times. And then later, stuff like Family Matters and stuff like that. I'm mentioning the black shit, and of course, Different World. You know, but it wasn't anything where the women were just like overtly ratchet and they just sit and consume all day thinking that that's what niggas like. It wasn't that. All right. Anyway, I'd like to thank the super chat. I'd like to thank those who are listening silently and those who participate in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.